Good day, everyone. We are the Group 1 and we are going to tackle about the introduction to Telecom, OSP, and subscriber line installation. So the things that I'm going to tackle today is the core competencies and its unit code. First, install pole hardware, cable terminal, line, wire, and accessories. Second, perform main cable installation. Third, splice or joint cable terminal to main aerial and or underground copper cable splice. So what is core competencies? This section gives the details of contents of core units of competency required in telecom OSP and subscriber line, installation, copper, cable, POTS, and DSL. So these are the unit of competency: install pole hardware, cable terminal, line, wire, and accessories. Unit code ICT 724605. So this unit covers the outcomes required for installing pole hardware, cable terminal, line, wire, and accessories. First, prepare for pole hardware, cable terminal, and line wire installation. Second, necessary tools, materials, and personal protective equipment are prepared, or PPE, in line with job requirements. Third, information on proposed locations and necessary approvals from relevant authorities is obtained. Site is cleared and prepared to provide unrestricted access for installation works in accordance with joint installation constraints and safety hazards are identified and suitable action is determined. Number 2. Perform pole hardware, cable, terminal, line, wire, and accessories installation. Installation site is made safe through erection of necessary barriers in accordance with standard practices and applicable rules and regulations. Fixing structures on pole are installed securely in accordance with manufacturer's specifications and joint pole agreement and or enterprise standards or GPA. Fixing devices where the support is other than a pole are installed in accordance with the GPA and or enterprise standards. Pole identifier marks are placed on installed poles for identification. Ground are installed and a grounding wires are bonded to messenger wire of copper cable in accordance with industry construction standards. Guy where assembly is installed and tension to required specifications. Problems encountered are reported as per standard operating procedures or SOP. Installation and design amendments are reported or documented in accordance with job requirements. So the second competency, perform main cable installation. Unit code ICT 724606. So this unit covers the outcomes required for performing main cable installation. 1. Prepare for cable jointing and installation. So necessary tools, equipment, materials, and personal protective equipment are prepared in line with job requirements. Cable preparation and installation requirements and constraints from planned site inspection are identified as per job requirements. Cable preparation and installation equipment is set up in accordance with manufacturers and job requirements. Site is made safe and secure for cable installation. Suitable protective clothing is selected and required safety devices used. Support structure is assessed as safe for normal working conditions. Cable route is checked from street level and made clear using suitable methods and in coordination with authorities concerned. Number 2, install main cable or occupational health and safety. Policies and procedures are followed based on safety requirements. Tools, equipment, clothing, and safety requirements are identified and obtained for the sheet opening, bending, grounding, and securing bunch end. Sheath opening of cable terminal, stub and main cable bonding and grounding are installed as required per outside plant standard. Cables are bind and secure in accordance with standard installation procedures, and loop and bending radius tolerance is ensured for cable materials at all times in accordance with outside plant standard. Problems encountered are reported as per Standard Operating Procedure or the SOP. Waste materials are removed from workplace and disposed of in accordance with government regulations and environmental health and safety requirements. So last unit of competency, splice or joint cable terminal to maintain aerial and or underground copper cable splice. Unit code ICT 724607. So this unit covers the outcomes required for joining or splicing cable terminal to maintain aerial and underground cable splicing or jointing for outside plant telephone network. It includes installing cable closure and cable supports. Splice and join cable terminal and main cable pairs for aerial copper cable works. Necessary tools, equipment, materials, and personal protective equipment or the PPE are identified and prepared in line with job requirements. Cable pairs identification, twisting techniques, and crimping or connectorization are performed in accordance with manufacturer's specifications and spare design plan or assignment. Next, group binders and segregation of cable pairs are performed as per job requirements and assignments. Accomplishments reports are accurately reported or documented in accordance with job requirements. 2. Splice and join straight and branch cables for underground copper cable works. Necessary tools, equipment, materials, and personal protective equipment are identified and prepared in line with job requirements. So, manhole and cable preparation for splicing or joining of straight branch splices is performed in line with job requirements. So, such as cable pairs identification, twisting techniques, and crimping or connectorization is performed in accordance with manufacturer's specifications and a spare design, plan, or assignment. Next, group binders and segregation of cable also are performed as per job requirements and assignment. Accomplishments reports are accurately reported or documented in accordance with requirement or job's requirements. Install cable closure or cable closure is applied to spliced cable pairs in accordance with product specification. Problems encountered are reported also as per Standard Operating Procedure or the SOP. Flash testing completed closure is performed according to the job requirements and SOP to prevent water and moisture entry. Number 4, install cable support. So splice cable are attached to messenger wire or cable rack for support in line with job requirements and product specifications. Job completion report is prepared in line with enterprises or the procedure. So that could be all. Thank you.
My topic is related to unit of competency, and it covers troubleshooting cable faults and errors, as well as installing PATs and DSL subscriber lines are important skills for telecommunications technicians. In this report, we will discuss the basic troubleshooting and correction of cable faults and errors, as well as the installation of PATs and DSL subscriber lines. Section 1. Troubleshooting and correction of cable faults and errors. Cable faults and errors can occur due to various reasons, including physical damage, water intrusion, or incorrect installation. Basic troubleshooting and correction of cable faults and error involve a systematic approach to identify the source of problem and resolve it. Here are the steps to perform basic troubleshooting and correction of cable faults and error. Step 1. Check the physical connections. Ensure that all cable connections are secure and not loose. Check for any damage to the cable or connection. Step 2. Test the cable. Use a cable tester to check for continuity and any shorts or breaks in the cable. Step 3. Check for water intrusion. Look for signs of water damage, such as discoloration or corrosion on the connectors. If water damage is suspected, the cable should be replaced. Step 4. Verify the signal strength. Use a signal meter to verify the strength of the signal. If the signal is weak, the problem may be due to signal attenuation, which can be resolved by using a signal booster. And next is Section 2, installing PATS subscriber line. PATS, or plain old telephone service subscriber lines, are traditional analog telephone lines that are still in use today. Here are the steps to install a PATS subscriber line. Step 1. Verify the availability of the service. So, check with the local telecom provider to ensure that PATS service is available in the area. Step 2. Install the wiring. Install the wiring from the telephone company's demarcation point to the location of the telephone set. Step 3. Connect the telephone set. Connect the telephone set to the wiring, ensuring that the connections are secure. Step 4. Test the line. Test the line to ensure that there is a dial tone and that calls can be made and received. Lastly, the Section 3, installing Digital Subscriber Line, or DSL. Digital Subscriber Line, or DSL, is a broadband service that allows for high-speed internet access over traditional telephone lines. Here are the steps to install a DSL line. Step 1. Verify the availability of the service. Check the local telecom provider to ensure that the DSL service is available in the area. Step 2. Install the DSL modem. Install the DSL modem at the location where the internet service is required. Connect the modem to the computer using an Ethernet cable. Step 3. Connect the modem to the telephone line. Connect the modem to the telephone line using a DSL filter. Step 4. Configure the modem. Configure the modem with the required settings, such as the username and password provided by the telecom provider. Step 5. Test the line. Test the line to ensure that the internet connection is working correctly. In conclusion, with all these topics, troubleshooting cable faults and errors, and installing PATS and DSL subscriber lines require technical knowledge and expertise. By following the steps outlined in this report, technicians can efficiently troubleshoot cable faults and errors and install PATS and DSL subscriber lines, ensuring that the customers have reliable and high-quality telecommunications services.
Good day everyone! Here I am to talk about the common competences which titled about apply quality standards. So how are we going to apply quality standards within the workplace? And this unit also covers all the knowledge, skills, and attitudes that are needed to apply quality standards within the workplace. And also this unit includes the applications of relevant safety procedures and regulations, as well as their organization procedures and customer requirements. First, assess quality of received materials or components. So how are we going to do this in the workplace? So Work instructions are obtained and work is carried out in accordance with standard operating procedures. Received materials or component parts are checked against workplace standards and specifications as well. Faulty material or components related to work are identified and isolated. Faults and any identified causes are recorded and or reported to the supervisor concerned in accordance with the workplace procedures. Last, faulty materials or components are replaced in accordance with the workplace procedures. So of course, it is needed to assess quality standards within the workplace. So some items in the workplace is important to check time by time and what are the causes being happened in that what are the causes or faulty that happened in that workplace. So it is being recorded and also reported to the supervisor for us able to make our workplace being organized within the accordance with workplace procedures. So next, assess own work. So how are we going to assess our own work? So of course, first we need to documentations relative to quality within the company is identified and used. Completed work is checked against workplace standards relevant to the task undertaken. So as well as faulty pieces are identified and isolated. Then last is information in the quality and other indicators of production performance is recorded in accordance with the workplace procedures. Of course, it is essential to be for all the items or indicators or productions performance is being recorded with well organized. And next is so causes are documented as what I've said earlier and reported in accordance with workplace standards and operating procedures. So that was how we're going to assess our own work with full of responsibilities and others. 3. Engage in quality improvements. Of course, when we're going to work in a workplace, so first there's an quality improvement in how we're going to engage about it. So first, process improvement procedures are participated in relations to workplace assignments. Of course, if kung unsa ang gihatag nimo na assignment or workplace assignment na gihatag nimo, so of course there's you need to make an improvement of that kind of work and how we're going to make a process for the procedures being improvement. Of course, work is carried out in accordance with process improvement procedures. So of course, di dyan siya mawagtang ang kanin. How we're going to make all work is being carried with accordance in quality standards and how we're going to make the process more improvement. And next is syempre, performance or of operation or quality product or service, we need to ensure customer satisfaction is monitored. Of course, importante ang customers. So how we're going to sell a product or something like that if dili na to ma-monitor og tarong ang satisfaction sa customers. So it is essential for us to ensure the customer satisfaction. So, our next topic was all about the unit of competences, which titled about the perform computer operations. So for you, how are we going to perform computer operations using the appropriate hardware and software? So let's tackle about this. So this unit covers also the knowledge, skills, and attitudes and values that are needed to perform computer operations, which include inputting, assessing, producing, and transferring data using the appropriate hardware and software. First, plan and prepare for tasks to be undertaken. So, first, requirements of the task are determined according to job specifications. So, of course, kung imong trabaho tig-ayo sa computer, so you're going to maintain that job as well. So, imong trabaho tig-encode. So, of course, tig-encode na dyan ka sa computer or something yan na. So, dili, dapat according to job specification, jud ang imong requirements of your task. So appropriate hardware and software are selected according to the task assigned and the required outcomes. So as what I've said earlier, kung sa imong trabaho, sa imong job specification, sa moro dyan na imong buhaton, dili ka mo kunay-kunay og dagan. Pero mas better jud kung daghan kay kag alam regarding ana na work. So you're able to input, assessing, producing and transferring data using the appropriate hardware or software para mas magamit ang imong skills and knowledge bisag asa pa na job specification. So next is task is planned to ensure that OH&S guidelines and procedures are followed. So of course, it is important to ensure the safety and guidelines and procedures are being followed when the task is planned and given to you. So of course, it is essential kay para dili malibog ang imong trabaho. So naman dyan is kana safety regulations and rules regarding ana na task. So imo dyan na i-follow. We need to follow that kinds of procedures to maintain a high quality standards procedures and to perform computer operation as well. So next is 2. Input data into computer. So of course, when data are being entered in that particular computer, so we need to use appropriate program or applications in accordance with company procedures. So, it is essential. Kay kung magpatuyan kag-enter og data sa kanan na computer, bisan yung maka-enter ka, di ka magbasa-basa, di ka mo follow sa procedure sa kumpanya, mahinoon magbayrusan na siya. So, dagko kay problema jud. So, it is essential for us to follow. Diba? Of course, accuracy of information is being checked. So, kanang kung magkuhan ganito, dapat being accurate ta or relevant ta sa pag-check sa information. Di ta magpataka og save. Dapat mo follow lang gyapon ta sa standard operating procedures within that computer operations. So next, when we're going to input data are stored in storage media according to requirements. So of course, dapat mo-follow dito sa requirements kung mag-input ang data sa storage media. So work is performed within the ergonomic guidelines. So, to continue, number 3, assess information using computer. So of course, when assessing information, so using computer siya dapat. So we need to correct program application is selected based on job requirements. So as what I've said earlier, so mag-base sa job requirements as well. Kung mag-tag program or application, mag-selecta na. So next is program application containing the information required is secured according to company procedures. So it is essential for us to follow the company procedures to be able as to make our relevant information being accessed within that appropriate program or application. So next is desktop icons are correctly selected, open and closely for navigation purposes. So, dapat kanang desktop icons na-adjust na siya as well. Dapat kay para dali rata kanang maka-select or open closes for navigation purposes. Even cell phones or any gadgets na mga icons, diba? Kaya para dali ra matultulan o dali ra nato ma-open or ma-close para for navigation purposes. Kaya di ka magpatuyang o kunay-kunay sa any other settings regarding ana para dili maguba or sa yun na i-handle ang computer or other gadgets. So next is keyboard techniques are carried out in line with OH&S requirements for safe use of keyboard. So of course, it is important as well. So let's proceed. Procedures output data using computer system. So when we're going to enter data are being processed using appropriate software commands. So it is important. Data printed out as required using computer hardware peripheral device in accordance with standard operating procedures. So, dapat na siya dapat when we're going to print the data with accordance. So, files data are transferred between compatible system using computer software, hardware, peripheral devices in accordance with standard operating procedures. So, when we're going to talk about, it is important for us to know the standard operating procedures regarding to this kind of work. So, fifth, five, maintain computer equipment and systems. So of course, how we're going to maintain computer equipment and systems? So here we are. Systems for cleaning, minor maintenance, and replacements of consumable are being implemented. So of course, it is important kay para ang atong ang atong computer systems are being kanang sayon ra kayo siya i-handle regarding ana when we're going to maintain the system for cleaning or even minor maintenance and replacement of consumable are being implemented. So it is essential for us to maintain that computer system clean and nice as well. So procedures for ensuring security of data including regular backups and virus checks are implemented. So of course, dapat to maintain our computer system clean and dili kayo mohanghang gani press good ang cellphone kung mo storage or makuanan og virus ka dili na ma-open kung makuan og virus dapat jud magpa ayo pa kaana adto sa kanang sa kuan kanang gadgets maintenance. So kuan jud dapat ato na siyang i-ensure kanang mga backup data kay when dapat magkuan ta ana being implemented jud na siya kanunay everyday jud na nato siya i-check ang computer system para dili siya ma-virusan or something ana. So last is basic file maintenance procedures are being implemented as well in line with the standard quality of operating procedures. So, how we're going to maintain our digital media or computer literacy. So, dapat atong i-maintain ang computer system nato to clean and nice para sayon ra nato kunay-kunay or handle baron or dili na ma-safety ra ang atong paggamit sa computer systems. Walay causes, walay kanang something na mahitabo sa itong mga files. Dapat ato dyo siyang i-maintain. The safety and the standard operating procedures are being implemented. So, mao dyo na importante. That would be all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I am Lilene Armas from the Betalad 1, and I will be reporting about the basic competences of Telecom OSP and subscriber line installation. So let's start. Basic competences. Unit of competency. Participate in workplace communication. The unit code is 5003111105. So this unit covers the knowledge, skills, and attitudes required to gather, interpret, and convey information in response to workplace requirements. Number 1. Obtain and convey workplace information. Specific and relevant information is accessed from appropriate sources. Effective questioning, active listening, and speaking skills are used to gather and convey information. Appropriate medium is used to transfer information and ideas. Appropriate non-verbal communication is used. Appropriate lines of communication with supervisors and colleagues are identified and followed. Defined workplace procedures for the location and storage of information are used. Personal interaction is carried out clearly and concisely. So, communication in the workplace is very important because it boosts employee morale, engagement, productivity, and satisfaction. Communication is also the key for better team collaboration and cooperation. So ultimately, effective workplace communication helps drive better results for individuals, teams, and organizations. Number 2, participate in workplace meetings and discussions. Team meetings are attended on time. Own opinions are clear expressed, and those of others are listened without interruption. Meeting inputs are consistent with the meeting purpose and established protocols. Workplace interactions are conducted in a courteous manner. Questions about simple routine workplace procedures and matters concerning working conditions of employment are asked and responded to. Meetings outcomes are interpreted and implemented. Also, workplace meetings are important element of business management. So, meeting enable you and your employees to communicate and share information, solve problems or resolve disputes, improve performance, build teamwork, and move projects forward. The third one is complete relevant work related documents. Range of forms relating to conditions of employment are completely accurately and legibly. Workplace data is recorded on standard workplace forms and documents. Next, basic mathematical processes are used for routine calculations. Errors in recording information on forms, documents are identified and properly acted upon. Reporting requirements and supervisors are completed according to organizational guidelines. So, workers can read the information faster and absorb it more quickly if it follows a consistent font and format. It also makes the development of further work instructions far simpler as you have a template to follow. Unit of competency. Work in a team environment. Unit code 5003111106. So this unit covers the skills, knowledge, and attitudes to identify role and responsibility as a member of a team. Number 1, describe team role and scope. The role and objectives of the team is identified from available sources of information. Team parameters, reporting relationships, and responsibilities are identified from team discussions and appropriate external sources. Identify own role and responsibilities within team. Individual role and responsibilities within the team environment are identified. Roles and responsibilities of other team members are identified and recognized. Reporting relationships within team and external to team are identified. You can help your team or work together effectively by clarifying individuals' responsibilities and finding gaps that need to be filled or addressed. Number 2, work as a team member. Effective and appropriate forms of communication used and interactions undertaken with team members who contribute to known team activities and objectives. Effective and appropriate contributions made to complement teams, activities, and objectives. Based on individual skills and competences and workplace contexts. Observe protocols in reporting using standard operating procedures. Contribute to the development of team work plans based on understanding of team's role and objectives and individual competences of the members. So, working in a team encourages personal growth, increases job satisfaction, and it also reduces stress. The next is unit of competency. Practice career professionalism. The unit code is 50031107. This unit covers the knowledge, skills, and attitudes in promoting career growth and advancement. The first one is integrate personal objectives with organizational goals. So, personal growth and work plans are pursued towards improving the qualifications set for the profession. Intra and interpersonal relationships is or maintained in the course of managing oneself based on performance evaluation. So, commitment to the organization and its goals is demonstrated in the performance of duties. Number 2, set and meet work priorities. Combating demands are prioritized to achieve personal, team, and organizational goals and objectives. Resources are utilized efficiently and effectively to manage work priorities and commitments. practiced along economic use and maintenance of equipments and facilities are allowed as per established procedures. Maintain professional growth and development. Trainings and career opportunities are identified and availed of based on job requirements. Recognitions are sought, received, and demonstrated as proof of career advancement. License or certificate relevant to job and career are obtained and renewed. So, setting priorities at work isn't just about choosing to do one thing over another. It's about choosing to do important things first so that you can achieve your long term goals. Once priorities are established, they help us to stay organized and on task, of course. Next is the unit of competency. Practice occupational health and safety procedures. The unit code is 5003111108. This unit covers the outcomes required to comply with regulatory and organizational requirements for occupational health and safety, or the OHS. Number one is identify hazard and risk. Safety regulations and workplace safety and hazard control practices and procedures are clarified and explained based on organization procedures. Hazard or risk in the workplace and their corresponding indicators are identified to minimize or eliminate risk coworkers, workplace, and environment in accordance with organization procedures. And contingency measures during workplace accidents, fire, and other emergencies are recognized and established in accordance with organization procedures. Hazard identification and risk assessment will help you recognize and control hazard in your workplace. Create awareness among your employees and use it as a training tool. Set risk management standards based on acceptable safe practices and legal requirements, of course. Number two, evaluate hazard and risk. Term of maximum tolerable limits which exceeded would result in harm or damage are identified based on the threshold limit values, or the TLV. The effects of hazard are determined OHS issues and concerns, and identified safety hazard are reported to designated personnel in accordance with workplace requirements and relevant workplace OHS legislation. It is important to understand hazard recognition and risk tolerance in order to evaluate risk and prevent any potential accidents from occurring. Number three is control hazard and risk occupational health and the safety, or the OHS. Procedures for controlling hazard or risk in a workplace are consistently followed. And also procedures for dealing with workplace accidents, fire, and emergencies are followed in accordance with the OHS policies. The personal protective equipment, or the PPE, is correctly used in accordance with organizational OHS procedures and practices. And the appropriate assistance is provided in the event of a workplace emergency in accordance with established organization protocol. So, by using the personal protective equipment, or the PPE, include the gloves, glasses, air masks, apron, safety footwear, dust mask, which are designed to reduce exposure to the hazard. Number four, and the last one, is the maintaining of OHS awareness. Emergency related drills and trainings are participated in as per established organization guidelines and procedures. OHS personnel records are completed and updated in accordance with workplace requirements. Every business has safety risks that could impact employees if not managed efficiently. And these types of safety risks fall under the term occupational safety, deals with all aspects of physical, mental, and social health and the safety in a workplace. Thank you. Thank you guys for listening. Bye.